Hi, Kinders. Happy last day of school. I can't believe it's our last day. We're going to use your journal if you have any pages, but I don't think I have any more pages that are empty. I used all my pages in my journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a blank piece of paper. So if you have another page in your journal, you can turn to that page. If you don't, we're just going to use a blank piece of paper. And I'm going to... We're going to start with the date. Let's start with the date in the top corner. Today is May 28th, 2021. May 28th, 2021. And in parentheses, I'm going to write, oh, this pen smells terrible. I'm going to use a different pen. I'm going to use my purple one. It doesn't smell so terrible. I'm going to write last day, because it's the last day, exclamation mark. All right, we're going to write a letter to your kindergarten teacher. So if your teacher is Mrs. Barnes, you're going to write Dear Mrs. Barnes. If your teacher is Mrs. Iris, you can write Dear Mrs. Iris. If your teacher is Mrs. Henry, you're going to write Dear Mrs. Henry. And if your teacher is Mrs. Cito, you're going to write Dear Mrs. Cito. So dear, I'm going to start at the top, because remember on the first day of kindergarten, I told you that there's a star right here, and we always start up here. Dear, two finger space, Mrs. And then you get to fill in your teacher's name. Mrs. Cito, Mrs. Henry, Mrs. Iris, and Mrs. Barnes. And then you put a comma. Dear Mrs. Cito, Mrs. Henry, Mrs. Barnes, or Mrs. Iris. What do you want to tell your teacher? Do you want to tell them that you had fun in kindergarten? That you learned a lot? That you are so smart now? Whatever you want to tell your teacher, this is your chance to write your letter to your teacher. So, dear Mrs., your teacher's name, and then you're going to write your message. You can say, have a great summer. I'll come visit you next year. And then on the bottom, when you finish writing your sentences, you're going to write love. I always like to draw a heart after love. And you're going to write your name here, so your teacher knows that it's from you. So this is what a letter looks like in kindergarten. So kindergartens, when you write letters, you start with dear, and then you write your message. Now, I want to write you guys a message. So you can work on your letter to your teacher. I'm going to write you a message, Kinders. So I'm going to leave it up here. So today's date is May 28th, 2021. You are not doing this. Mrs. Cito's doing this. You are doing your letter to your teacher. But I wanted to write you a letter just so you don't feel left out, that you didn't get a letter. Dear Kinder, since there's so many of you, dear Kinders, I am so proud of you. Thank you for working so hard in kindergarten. You are my superhero. I'll put stars by the superhero. Love, Mrs. Cito. Heart, heart, heart. Okay, I'll read the letter I wrote you. May 28th, 2021. Dear Kinders, I am so proud of you. Thank you for working so hard in kindergarten. You are my superhero. Love, Mrs. Cito. Love you guys. I'll miss you. Take care. Come visit us, okay? Bye, Kinders.